नमस्कार, फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है। मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन। आज रविवार है तो हम हॉट टेक्स करेंगे और जो मार्केट में कब फ्राइडे हुआ इसके बारे में कल भी बात किया, आज भी बात करेंगे और कितना पेन हो सकता है इसके बारे में भी बात करेंगे। मोर मनी। So I am very convinced the dollar is going up, the gold is going up. What can stop gold from going up very rapidly is if interest rates remain high, gold will remain at this level. But if interest rates begin to fall, gold is going to go through the roof.
Okay.
The other thing that has happened is normally what should happen in this kind of market is gold should have corrected.
Yes.
It didn't correct because the Americans went and seized the US dollars.
Yes.
Because US dollars was seized, the central banks of the world decided to de-risk their position and keep buying gold.
Because you don't know.
You don't know what these guys will do.
Correct. So you feel that the central banks of Russia and China,
India, Turkey,
Yeah.
Poland, everybody is buying gold.
Uzbekistan has also been one of the central banks.
All these guys are buying gold.
Okay. So there seems to be a fear across the globe on the uncertainty of what's going to happen in the US and how the US might weaponize the dollar.
And also there is another problem. The main problem is North Korea has joined the fight.
Correct.
And North Korea has joined the fight by sending 12,000 people into the front to fight on behalf of Russia. So definitely the world is becoming more dangerous. And it's very clear from Hindustan Unilever, ITC's results, Nestle's results, Godrej's results, that for premium brands, demand has just stagnated.
And I wanted to pivot and ask you about, since we spoke about gold, and The Economist had an interesting article saying the surging gold prices, what it says about a dangerous world. What is that article?
Basically says what I said. The central banks are buying gold. And there are three major conflict zones in the world. Israel and Iran are fighting. So far it was proxy, but now they have exchanged blows. So it can spread to an Iran-Israel war. The nearest border between Iran and Israel is 1,000 kilometers. So you're going to have a war that includes a lot of these countries.
Regional, yes.
So, and it is going to be very nasty.
Okay.
And the Jews control Europe and America. And so the Jews will
Support
Israel. So it's an Israel-America backside track. Now, Iran, China, and Russia are an axis. So this could mean that more central banks will buy gold.
Okay.
Now, the second big thing is China property has collapsed. And yesterday the news came that Chinese municipal bonds have collapsed. So basically the Chinese investor does not know where to put his money. He cannot put it in property. He cannot put it in his bonds. He does not want to put it in the bank. He wants to hide the money.
Gold.
Where can he hide? He'll hide it in gold.
Okay.
This is what the article is saying.
So what do you see the outlook for the next, 6 months to a year?
As of now, very clearly what I'm looking at is very clear that unless people are going to find jobs, unless money is transferred from the rich to the poor in India, the middle class finds something to cheer about. The real middle class, not the people who think they are middle class like me, which I am not. They are going to find something to cheer. Things are not going to change.
Correct. So let's say if I'm of someone of the type who has a little bit of cash now, and I do not know anything about markets, and all this makes me nervous. Am I just safe buying off gold for the short term, for the next 2 years?
Next 18 months, you're safe of buying gold.
We're safer buying gold.
If you do not know the markets,
and you do not know anything,
you don't want to go anywhere near the markets,
and all this makes you nervous.
All this makes you nervous. Just go buy gold. Keep it at home.
That is the safest thing to do. Okay. And the last thing which I wanted to hit about all this AI. Why is NVIDIA finding it very hard to sell their chips everywhere else, and now they're coming and
because there's a demand. NVIDIA cannot sell to China.
Correct. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Now TSMC tried to sell this to China, and TSMC has been told very clearly, anything to do with China, I have finished. And they have now set up a plant in Arizona.
Correct.
And that yield is very good as Taiwan. So they want to look at the West. And NVIDIA does not have its own fabrication plants. NVIDIA is dependent on
these guys to produce.
TSMC to make it.
They only design the chips.
No. So you cannot sell to China, you cannot sell to Russia, you cannot sell to Iran and Turkey. So you have to sell it to somebody else. So and then what you need is you need to cement to sell. So he comes here, he sits with Mukesh, he talks to the mighty Tatas, and then they say, we are interested in AA, and that becomes big news.
Yeah, but considering the geopolitical friendship which is fostering between Russia, China, and India after BRICS and all that, won't US be wary of Indian influence supplying, using India as a backdoor to buy from India?
See, India and China are not friends and cannot be.
But I thought we just signed some bilateral and we said we are buy.
Nothing. See, it's a historic problem that goes back more than 50 years. You cannot whitewash it.
Okay.
And no Indian politician will survive doing bye-bye with China because China has let us down many times.
Okay.
Now it's an interest of Russia to keep India our old friend with them. And we also need Russia because we have got a lot of defense requirement from them.
Okay.
But when Russia tried to let's dump dollar together, America said no, India said no. Because while you may have close relationship, you have to understand it is not as it was 30 years back. There's a huge Indian diaspora population in US and Canada. I mean, even the Canada relationship is very important.
Correct.
It's not that you can just rally the troops and call them fascist.
Correct.
Because everybody has somebody in America and South India today. I don't know about North.
Yes.
But in South India, everybody has a lot of relatives in America. On my father's side, everybody except us, our siblings, everybody is there. So you cannot overnight cut off your relationships with America. There are a lot of strategic tie-ups, a lot of, and India depends.
End of the day, we are both democracies.
Not forget democracy. India's software is dependent on America.
True.
And more than 1 crore people of
Indian origin
are working there and here in India put together. So no politician can risk 1 crore jobs today, especially in a market like this where jobs are very bad.
So then as far as using India as a backdoor to get NVIDIA chips is not going to be...
we can buy NVIDIA.
Okay.
But India-China friendship will not take off.
Will not take off anywhere. It's just more of whitewashing.
No, he is looking for an entry to back off and allow Indian corporates to buy cheap Chinese goods.
Okay. So that's where it stands.
That's where it stands.
Okay.
आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. हो सके तो इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं. इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के साथ शेयर करें और उनको इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए मनाएं.